Hello everybody, welcome to Nioh 2. This is going to be the beginning of the walkthrough. As you can see, I've already picked a couple of weapons. I'm going to take you guys through a few things when it comes to character generation in a moment. Now, I'm assuming anybody with any experience with the game is probably going to look at the weapons I've picked and be like, hey, there's not much synergy there. And I've not picked them for synergy. I'm being a miser about skill points. So we're going to go through kind of the first instance that you're going to want to do when you create your character. Obviously, you come over here to change how you look if you wish to. I've already created mine. This is who we're going to be going through the walkthrough with. I haven't decided which weapons we're actually going to use for the entirety of the walkthrough. I've really been enjoying the switchblade, but you don't get to take advantage of magic for a long time. So I'm probably picking up something that synergizes with it along the way, and then maybe switch it to that a little bit later on. I really like the Kasuriga armor as well, and I may try pairing these two. They do share one stat between them, I think. So let's talk about let's talk about the decisions that I've made here. So, as you can see, when you pick up one of these weapons, it's going to increase a certain stat, which is generally going to be the main stat that it happens to scale with for damage. Now, the cool thing about this game is when we're later on in the game, we're going to get to respec anyway, so we can put points into things. And then expect to be able to redistribute them. But we're at level 0, effectively level 1. Wow, I'll get my words out eventually at the moment. So these points won't actually be able to respec. So I'm trying to pick points that will give us the most versatility should we decide that we want to change how we're playing. So I feel like, even though I really like the switchglaive, and even if you like weapons like the Kasuriga and that kind of stuff, Constitution and Stamina are probably the two most flexible stats you can pick. I would say Heart and Courage come in there as well. But these top 4 here are certainly the 4 that you should be going for. The reason for that being Constitution and Stamina both affect life. Stamina also gives you extra equipment weight, which you're probably going to want as well. Or you could obviously give some Heart or some Courage, which affects your ki. You may even go for Constitution and Heart, just because, well, in my opinion, they're kind of in order of importance generally. In terms of values of stats. So Constitution is really, really good to get up. Maybe Heart is as well, but yeah. So this is where we're sticking with here, and you can see kind of the health we started at 880, and we've gone up by 45. It's an extra small smidgen of health, which is just going to be a little bit helpful. Although we may end up needing to mess around in the first mission just to get a decent weapon. We're going to be able to get new weapons quite easily anyway, because players are going to be covered in them. But that's my recommendation for kind of creating your character right at the very beginning here. We'll go into some details about how the walkthrough is going to work as well after this episode. But next up, we're going to go with the Guardian Spirit that you should pick. Proceed to Guardian Spirit. Now, the one that you should absolutely pick is this one here in front of us. +1 strength. Heart. Magic. Now you might be tempted to go for the magic one, but again, you're going to get a stat increase here based on the one that you're going to get. Now Heart could be considerable. Get some ki. And then we have 3 out of the 4 most important stats. We have strength here, which may well synergize with some of the weapons that we're using. Is still quite important because it's going to raise our I don't know if it doesn't do much. Provide the special effects of heavy armor. Stat affects your ability to resist water. See? Now that's what puts me off this. Now I was going to say this one because this one has so there's a mechanic called burst counter, and this one is the easiest one to do it now. There are going to be other versions of this, as in red summon, so they all have different colours, and the red ones are the ones that we want really. But I don't want point strength, so I'm gonna be stubborn. I would probably suggest that most people go for this. It's probably not as important as I'm making it out to be, but I think this gives us the best stat spread in terms of being able to. So there's our yokai shift. That allows us to change back. So it should show us now. That's actually. Oh, that's really nice actually. Yeah, it's great. We picked the right one. So that's all good. So, for the first few moments of the walkthrough anyway, I'm going to have to suck it up with a spear and an axe. I really don't like how they work, so I will try and change that as quickly as we can. So let's leave this area, and then we'll talk about how I'm going to try and work the walkthrough. I think there's a cutscene about now. Now, I am not the perfect person when it comes to creating and confining builds, but this is a game of overlapping bonuses, which is why it's important to try to generally pick weapons that you want to pair that share stats gains. So we're going to go over this in a minute when I get a few weapons. I'll skip this actually, you guys don't need to see this. Now something goes wrong here, I do apologise. Obviously, we should end up pretty much straight at mission. I don't know if you guys want me to keep any of the cutscenes in. This load screen's a bit long. Divine branch, yes. So now we can exit missions, we've got the start point and we've got the first mission. I don't know if we should start that now or not. Let's go in. That's fine. We can start the next episode from the shrine. That's okay. I just kind of want to show you guys something, so we're gonna get into the mission here. There's loads of stuff I can show you on that menu as well, but most of it's not unlocked yet. So we've got a couple of missions before we get into it. But as soon as you get here, touch on this, and you should pretty much be able to level straight away. There we go, boom, and we get to get an extra stat point. So we could have the full-on even spread of what are probably the most important stats. +1, which is pretty good actually. These will be important depending on what type of armor you end up wanting to use later, but for now these are just going to give us the most innate benefits. Dexterity magic will become important later. I recommend picking one and reaching at least the 30-point soft cap. You're probably going to want to end up putting points in both, but I'd say focus on one. I'm probably going to focus on magic because I really like it, and I really like the switchblade, which probably means that's going to happen. Unfortunately, ninjutsu may well be just as good, but or probably even better with some of the skills in there. But right, so let's summon that now and show then. Let me. I need a weapon. I wonder if I can still get the DLC bonus. Let's have a look here. Now, bear in mind this is a game of loot, right? So, because I pre-ordered, I've got a load of free stuff right here. Wow, I'm really sorry guys, that was terrible. That's where everyone switches off. If anybody made it this far, thank you very much for putting up with me. Right, so now I can actually show you something here. So we've got the list of weapons now, which is quite cool. I actually find this easier to look at. Now, what you actually want to do when you're pairing your weapons up is to pair weapons that have similar attack bonuses. And what you'll see, look, you got the base attack in the weapon here. Let me pull this up with the tooltip. Right, we've got base attack, which stays the same, right? And then you see all of the symbols changing around. And ideally, you want to pick a pair of weapons that has at least one matching one, right? Like, so you look at this, and the katana and the demon spear both share. I think that's skill and strength as stat bonuses, right? So that will mean that you can effectively power up two weapons with one stat, which it's just handy. I would say it's not necessarily essential because this is a game about grinding anyway, so it's highly likely that you're going to get to a pretty high level and maybe you'll power up all of your stats. But I find that unlikely. So let's go with the idea that at least at the very beginning of the game, it's going to be advantageous to you to want to pair weapons up that are going to scale off of the same stats. So as an example, then, let's say I want to switch to the switchglaive, which I really like. I can now see that the switchglaive scales with skill, magic, and I think it's constitution. Alright, now the best weapon technically, if we're going to go with just that, is the spear, which I believe is constitution, skill, and strength. Yeah, which will essentially mean that I can put lots of points into Constitution and expect to get good health and damage benefits out of it. Now, the the back part of that is I don't really like the spear, so maybe we can look for something else here. So we know that we have magic, Constitution, skill, right? Then we have skill at B+. It doesn't really matter which one it scales with, that's identical. So we've got hatchets, which is also pretty good. And not only that, it also shares magic. Hatchet's probably a pretty good idea. We have Tomfers, which is a pretty good idea. Probably not that. Not the Adachi. So that's to be expected. The Kusurigama, weirdly enough, has the skill. Well, not weirdly enough, has the skill scaling. So I actually quite like the weapon. I may go with that. We have the skill bonus B+, dual katana. That could work as well. And the demon spear, we know about the spear. And the katana. So the spear probably works out best because it stats-wise, if you like the weapon. But I'm actually thinking I might go with Kusurigama, although you're then very much leaning into a light armor build, so bear that in mind as well. So, much how I was saying before about maybe you want to pick between magic and dexterity, you're probably going to end up picking between strength and skill as well. Most armors, let's see if we can pull one up here. I don't know if the starting armor actually has one. Yeah, it does. Most armors have minimum requirements down at the bottom. We also have, does it show me that? No, it won't let me highlight, but just to the left where it says defense, where you can see we have the like bell shapes, which are weights, and that tells you whether or not a piece of armor is heavy or light armor. All of these require strength, so it doesn't really change very much there for me. So I can show you guys. Which is, I suppose it's because there's no light armor sets here. But essentially, light armor sets will change strength for skill. Apparently medium armor also uses strength. So if we go with the Kusurigama, we're going to be using light armor, and there's not a lot of that around. In addition, I think with the walkthrough, maybe there's some armor that uses strength, which gives you healing after you kill enemies, which is pretty strong. But essentially, that's how the character creation works, right? So now we can switch weapons around. We can use whatever we want, which is quite handy. Now, of course, some of you might be thinking, "Hey Joe, I don't have the DLC. I haven't pre-ordered. Like, who knows when people are picking the game up?" But that's fine. It should work pretty much instantly. If I quit out right now, right? So let's say I return to touch screen and come back in. Now, whilst these won't be identical to the weapons that I have from the DLC, these will be operable weapons that I'll be able to show you. Just make sure that this is loads the right file, alright? So this is the 1 hour one. Obviously, I've been messing around, kind of thinking about which weapons I wanted to do. I've been thinking quite hard about what I wanted to say on this video. And I suppose it has actually taken close to the amount of time that I wanted it to take. Oh, it's not actually happened for me. I don't want to pick any items up. I don't mind killing you. Didn't actually change the Kusurigama yet. Come on now. Where? Aww. Well, let's try something crazy. I want to die. Come here. Kill me! Wow, my resistances are actually apparently making a difference. That's quite cool. First death. That guy's actually kind of pretty tough anyway, so. Wow, it would appear there's no one online. Everyone must be sleeping. Shocked. There must be one for me to show you. Got a Kadama over there. Right, we're getting a bit further out than I wanted to show you guys something. That's really weird. Not a single death apparently. Yeah, I don't think I'm a fan of the spear. Okay, so sorry guys, I was going to show you guys a tutorial on farming gear, but apparently the game doesn't want to show them to me yet. It's like waiting for me, you little git. Ouch! Okay, well, the game's not going to let me do what I want to do. That's a shame. But essentially you'll find that as you're going around you'll see little red graves and you can fight other players essentially to get their gear. Is what I wanted to say in short. I'm so sorry guys, that did not work out how I wanted it to. Additionally, so just about the walkthrough, I'm going to try to keep episodes to around 20 minutes. This one's gone a little longer than I thought it would. We will, well, basically what I'll do is I'll show the locations of things like Kodamas and stuff that are one-time pickups, and then I'll be coming back through levels to do specific videos for some of them anyway. So that should be at least somewhat helpful to some people anyway. That does mean that some areas, if they're a little bit longer than others, may end up being a bit longer. I may even split down even further, like I might go from here to the next checkpoint, and that kind of thing, just to keep things easy to find, so when people are looking for something specific they'll be able to get it. And it also kind of helps YouTube's algorithm, because it seems to prefer it when people don't make as long videos / stay longer, which is unfortunate because I'm not that interesting apparently. So in any case, hopefully this was helpful for people just starting out. Hopefully I was clear enough about the idea of, you know, trying to pick weapons that have similar scaling attributes so that you'll get more mileage out of your leveling. They don't have to be perfect, and you could totally, if you wish to, while my voice is going, if you wish to, you could totally just decide not to do that and just level more if you wanted. That's also a thing. So either way guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. In the next one, obviously we'll be going through this area which I can't remember the name of. I'll look at it before we start though. In any case guys, I'll catch you all in the next episode. See you then.